Hey everyone, and welcome to the HR Vision podcast. I'm your host, Ivo, and every week I'm going to have a conversation that matters about HR. After a small hiatus, we are kicking off the season 2 with Britt de Roode. Hey Britt, welcome. How are you?
Hello, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Britt is a VP of Marketing and Recruitment Implementation Services at FourVision. So we obviously work very close together. And she's here today to kick off season 2, like I said, and to give us her perspective on, like a marketer's perspective on HR tech. It shall be fun. So, Britt, you ready? Very nervous? Not really.
A bit. Yes, I am.
Okay. So, guys, give her a break, but she'll be fine. I know that. All right, so let's start, like for all new guests, by giving us a small introduction and, like your background, professional background. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, of course. Well, like Ivo said, my name is Britt. I've been working with FourVision since 4.5 years ago when I was not working in HR tech, but I had some elements with my previous employer with it. But my journey began with a way other industry, and that was in the retail industry, where I was responsible for marketing campaigns within supermarkets, where you can think of Christmas. In Dutch, you have in the Netherlands you have a celebration that's called Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yes.
Yeah, indeed. But during the time I was working in there, I was also very much involved in projects from the commercial IT side. So we were professionalizing more the marketing side around, how do you say that? The advertisement, so the offline advertisement, where you get your weekly advertising journal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And because everything was still in Excel, everything was still on paper. Feedback rounds on paper, but also what was published in the stores. So, for example, if you have, I don't know, chicken. Normally it costs you €5, and if it's for sale, then it's going to cost you €4. Yeah. You would like to publish that as well in your stores. At that time, stores were still doing that manually, printing things out. Had to put that in front of the product.
Yeah.
And you will think, well, small thing, but it was very complicated to bring that via an automated way. So that was my first experience my first footprint within technology, so without the HR side. I've been doing that for 4.5 years, always in combination with marketing activities. And with my next employer, I was a recruiter. So that was my first step in HR tech. And brings my background at this moment together with FourVision. In the meantime, I had several employers more focused on marketing, and my previous employer asked me, "Hey, Britt, can you please implement a new career site for us in combination with a new ATS?" And ATS is an applicant tracking system where we were able to manage all the candidates and eventually also to automate the hiring process, because that company was growing from 40 employees and they had the ambition to grow to a company of 300 employees in a couple of months. And then you can imagine if you only have one recruiter to do that, that was a hell of a job. That's what I did just before I switched employers. I switched to organizations to FourVision. And that was my, first job in that sense in the actual IT technology services. And at that moment, I was focusing on all the changes that came from Microsoft at the moment to bring that to our customers and to our potential customers through a new website.
Okay. But that already in FourVision or before FourVision?
That was in FourVision.
FourVision already when you joined.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so you actually managed to mix a small part of IT with HR even before coming to FourVision. So how was how was that? How was when you joined FourVision, did you have a difficult time adapting to what the type of product or services that FourVision was providing at the time? It was a whole new world, I can imagine, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, almost correct, to be honest, because I did also before I joined FourVision, I just finished my other bachelor's, and that was for business and IT. So I was already involved in that sense, or not involved. I had knowledge about services, how you can implement on software as a service. So also on that side, but of course not in the HR industry.
Yes.
From Dynamics. So yeah, that was a whole new world for me. Recruitment is more related to marketing because you are trying to sell your company, of course.
Yeah.
And I think it is on recruitment side, the candidate has almost the same journey as a customer or prospect. But if you hired someone, then it's more difficult to keep the right employees on the right spot. So I think that was for me the other end. So if someone is hired, that was an entire new world. And then with all the technology from Microsoft behind it, that was different. It was not difficult to adapt because I'm always really eager to learn. But the company was smaller at that time, so lines were very short. But also, I think when I started, immediately I got a lot of responsibilities, and not only on the marketing side, but also on the platform side, to partners, to Microsoft, and to third parties.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
And so when you joined, then you learned, of course, immensely about HR and technology and how that mix. Were there any great things that you right away identify, like you never thought about that HR tech could be so useful? Are there any things that you can share that were surprising to you at that time when you start learning about HR tech?
Yeah, that the world of HR was more than only an admin function or an admin role within a company, and that nowadays, for me, the most surprising thing is at this moment, an organization is not choosing for a candidate, but it's the other way around. And if you are mature enough as an organization, you don't need to have everything right away, but systems can help you a lot, but it's still the people who need to do it. And yes, I think that was for me the biggest eye-opener in that sense, and I think that's not only for HR, but because it's and system and people related, and also then the people within your own company, it makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, I understand that. Like if you look globally at HR tech, what do you think are the main value propositions? What can HR tech help and facilitate and automate? What do you think are if you had to select the top strengths of HR tech in general, what would you say?
Yeah, I think especially one is a clear process, as well as from the candidate side as for the HR manager or recruiter or an HR employee. a solution will help you, but also only if the solutions are connected with each other, and we call that an end-to-end solution experience. And I think, I can elaborate on that a bit more, but maybe that's another topic to discuss.
We'll go there.
Yeah, I felt so. But I think, also focus on not only on industry, but also on what's going on with people from nowadays, and so people who are already in their 40 are different than people who are just starting as they are 20. So someone from 40 can say, well, I can still type a letter, a motivation letter, or I can send you my resume in PDF or in other file. But maybe someone from 20 is saying, well, I prefer to have a video or record a video. And also the other way around, that an organization can say, hey, we want to have a round with selections with a video resume, or turn your letter into a video. So I think it's also more, not especially on age, but more in the sense, know what your candidate wants. And on the other end, if you hire them, know what your employee wants, and keep yourself up to date, and try to have the people within your HR department, don't keep them only for administrational tasks, because solutions can do that.
Yeah.
But to have the communication on a regular basis with your employees, I think that's most valuable. And that's for me, also the biggest difference with a couple of years ago already. And especially now we are still in lockdown-ish. We are opening up, I know, but still a lot of people are working from home. Now you need to communicate proactively with each other. And
that's a very good point. Going back to what you said, the end to end, we tend to talk a lot about that, especially with our partners, with our customers as well, our prospects. We tend to speak a lot about this end to end. I know you have your hand, and you've been in a company for some time now, and you have your hand on a lot of partnerships with Dynamics ATS and Phenom and LMS, and all of these partners try to combine together to get that end-to-end solution that supports the whole HR process. So, what's your view on that end-to-end and the importance of having an end-to-end process that works for HR?
Yeah, I think an end-to-end process and in combination with the right solutions is that you can offer a good candidate and employee experience. So a candidate is now searching for a company which fits his skills, and not only based on his experience, but saying like, well, it starts with a good career site or with a good job posting. I don't know. If he has the feeling that there is already a fit, that will help you. So a career site is one, how you can market yourself.
Yeah.
On the other end, if someone is applying for a job, that can still be via a form, or maybe, for example, like Phenom does. Phenom is one of the vendors where we work with. They have a chatbot where you can even schedule an appointment with a recruiter. So it helps the candidate move faster, make faster decisions, because at this moment, if someone is looking for a new job, they are only scanning a job description, only reading maybe headlines or first lines of a paragraph, and that's it. And that's where they make the decision. And if you can support that with a process from one system which is integrated to another system, so if a candidate applies, as a recruiter, you would like to give him, communication as fast as possible. So reply. What are we going to do with your application? Do we want an interview with you, or are we saying, well, at this moment we don't have any opening for you, etc. And then the next steps: hire him, onboard him on the right way. For a recruiter, it makes it also a lot easier to work with those systems if they are integrated with each other.
In combination.
That's why we call it an end-to-end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not only the recruitment stage, of course, that you need to provide a good experience, but then you have many studies saying that a good onboarding actually helps increases 80%.
Yeah.
Increases 80% the chance of an employee to stay in the company. So good onboarding is also important. Yeah. And then the development of the employee.
Right? The whole talent management is the second step. If you hired someone, how can you retain someone? It's not only through a nice role, but also to give someone a perspective. This is what your next steps can be. This is how you can grow into a new role, or this is how you can grow in your current role. Depends on what the employee wants.
Yeah, absolutely. And this end-to-end basically goes exactly from end to end, from the recruitment towards onboarding and talent development, and eventually offboarding too, right?
That's retirement,
to retirement.
The process,
Absolutely. When you arrived to FourVision, I don't know if you had any experience with Microsoft's products before. We didn't speak about that, by the way. You can say if you did, but when you arrived to FourVision, we have a strong partnership with Microsoft. We use Microsoft products for our services and implementations. What do you think? What is the importance? Because I also know that you work closely with the Microsoft Partner Program, and you know a lot about that. So what can you tell us about your experience with Microsoft so far?
Yeah, and then more on the products or more on the relationship that we have?
More on the relationship, I would say.
Well, relationship is really good. And I think that's more depending on what the founders of FourVision a couple of years ago, they were focused only on Microsoft and the relationship. Microsoft is a very big sales channel for us. Mm-hmm. And two, a very good partner, because we work together to bring the best solution to the customer. And I think that's most important, always to keep the customer in mind. And yes, then we have our other partners as well. And yes, we use solutions from Microsoft to deliver the systems, but also to give the best experience for a customer. And then on the other hand, we also develop solutions. And we are an HR expert. And what we've seen is in the standard products from Microsoft, it wasn't enough for a lot of customers. It was too standardized. It was not possible to enhance the solution. So what we did is we created our own solutions, also modular based, because organization A has other needs than organization B. Yeah. So organization is able to create their own HR solution based on the Dynamics platform, and that we have the ability to combine those the best of both worlds for customers. I think that's the most important part of our relationship.
All right. Do you think? I worked with it before with Microsoft. We work closely on the partner center. Do you think? My experience is very good. Like in terms of support, I think they're very quick. Do you feel the same with all the experience that you had before working with them? Do you feel the same? They are really helpful, supportive, and always there for their partners?
Yeah, they are. They're very open. They are, if you look at from a more regional perspective, is we have an international company. What I do miss is in that sense is that Microsoft is also very regional based. So we have Microsoft Netherlands, you have Microsoft Belgium, but we are also operating in the US. The sales relationship that we have is really good. Only we are working now for several years on a global partnership.
Yeah.
And that's still, it's not there yet. So I think that has to do with that we are only focused on HR. But the willing to have that relationship is there from both sides. So the intention is there, only we need to fill in the blank spots.
Yeah, I think the focus that has been given to HR in the last couple of years, or the last 5 years, I think it will bring the companies that work with HR a bit up in the scale, to get to that global partnership. So we'll work on that. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think especially because the importance of HR is growing, and that it's now more part of the Dynamics platform, and that organizations are now choosing for a platform again rather than a single solution. And HR is part of that.
Absolutely. As we said, you also are, besides VP of Marketing, are VP of Recruitment Implementation Services. That means that you work very closely with one of our vendors, one of our partners, Phenom. You said a very interesting sentence in the beginning of the episode, saying that recruitment is a lot like marketing. Yeah. You see a lot of things in there. So, anything about the Phenom platform surprised you? The way they use it, or anything in tech, in recruitment technology that surprised you once you start working closely with it?
Yeah, I think that's also more on the process behind it than the platform itself, because the platform itself is basically an very big CRM system, so a customer relationship management system. Yeah. Phenom developed the same thing, or the same platform, but then the C is not for customers but for candidates. Yes. So platform-wise, no. But what I've seen in the last couple of years is that platforms are changing also to make it easier for recruiters, because recruiters nowadays are more in the role of a marketer. Mm-hmm. They are trying to convince a candidate, and it can be with a career site, can be in a conversation, to work with the company. Okay. Then the other way around. And so if you give a recruiter a platform like Phenom, it doesn't work immediately. They need training. They need the right steps from a process. They need the right approach. What do you want with your company? Set goals, etc. And that's what a marketer does, because they are educated to do it. But a recruiter isn't. So if you can bring a platform to a recruiter, but it doesn't say immediately the recruiter can work with it. And that's now changing. And that's also what we see in the implementation period, is that if we are implementing, it's also about training and help the customer to work with the system, and not say, customer, what do you want? No, it's the other way around. This is how the system works. This is the best practice, and we can help you with that. And it works because it's a proven system with about more than 4,000 customers. So
that's a very good point of view. Like recruiters nowadays, they need to think as a marketer, and it's true. It's true. The power is getting shifted to the candidates more these days, because they want a company they can align with their values more than the skills or the role itself, or even the money sometimes, especially in some countries. Of course, this can vary, but in general terms, in developed countries, probably that's the case. So that's a very interesting perspective. Let's talk about the future, and what are you seeing right now as trends in HR technology? Where do you think it's going? Where are the focus is shifting to? What is your view on HR tech for now and the future?
I think for now that candidate and employee experience is key, and that you need to support that with the right systems. And and also at this moment is, like I already said, organization A is different than organization B, and you need to adapt to that and try to as an organization try to be in the market, but also look to the future. What do you want with your organization? Because if you're back to the website, back to the career site, you created the career site maybe a couple of years ago, but are you working on continuous updates? So are you working on your strategy, and is your HR strategy changing, or is it the same? You're still working remotely nowadays is normal, is common, because we were pushed to do that. But now people are thinking, hey, maybe I don't want to go back to the office. It was so much easier when I work from home. I don't have travel time anymore. So companies need to adapt to that. And like you said, candidates have the power, employees have the power. And if you combine those two strengths, I think, you are a good employer.
Yeah. Do you see any, because this has been a talk before for in the recruitment part, like the AI and that evolved. Do you think it's something coming very soon? Or
you see that. Yeah, you see that with multiple systems. That at this moment AI is one of their biggest key functionalities. But also on AI, there's so much data, and companies don't know what to do with it anymore. And they don't know how to translate that to maybe steering information or AI will be a big thing, but I think AI still needs a lot of improvement to help companies also with that. It's the same thing as a recruiter. You can create a very big, cool dashboard with all data in it, but if maybe a hiring manager or an HR manager, they don't know what to do with it.
What's the point?
Yeah, that's the point, indeed. So also on all the AI, you can have so much data, but if the AI is not able to translate it, then it's difficult to work with it, or that it benefits a company.
All right. Okay, we are towards the end. I just have one final question for you, or ask for advice. So if you had one thing to say to people out there listening, being HR professionals, IT professionals, whatever that is, what can you say as a VP of marketing or in VP of recruitment services?
Do not focus only on implementing a system, but also focus on what does your employee want and what is the needs of your employee in combination with your organization. Because, like our tagline says, it starts with you. And it starts with HR, and it starts with us as your partner to help you with this process. But the company needs to be ready for a transformation, and do not think you can transform an old process into a new solution, because that doesn't work.
All right. Enough said, I think. All right, Britt, thank you so much for the time. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. Everybody out there, take care. We are back with the season 2, and every Wednesday drops a new episode. So keep following us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.